Hi, my name is Jean Haley, and I'm a mindfulness instructor at the Center for Spirituality and Healing at the University of Minnesota. I'm here today to share with you some of the details about an exciting new course that we're offering here at the center called Mindful Self-Compassion. Mindful Self-Compassion is a course that was developed by Chris Germer of Harvard University and Kristen Neff at the University of Texas at Austin. Based on their many years of experience as clinicians, researchers, and also as longtime meditators, Chris and Kristen decided that a really important aspect of mindfulness that needed to be emphasized was self-compassion. So one of the basic core principles of this course is the following. We give ourselves self-compassion not to make ourselves feel better, but because we feel bad. So I'd like to say that again. We give ourselves self-compassion not to make ourselves feel better, but because we feel bad. I don't know what your reaction is to that, but the first time I heard it, it was like, what? It was so different from my own experience of trying to fix what was wrong with me, of not being kind to myself, of being kind to everybody else in a way that I was never kind towards myself. So this, for most people, is quite a radical departure from their usual MO. So why, you might be asking, as I did myself, why would I want to offer myself self-compassion? Perhaps it's going to make me less motivated, selfish, feel out of control, all of these things that we often associate with the word self-compassion. Well, actually the opposite is quite true. Research suggests that people who practice self-compassion are actually quite happy, less anxious, less depressed, and more able to take prudent risks. That actually kind of makes sense when you think about it. If you're not anticipating being harsh on yourself, if that inner critic isn't in there jabbering at you, then you're more likely to want to take some risks and see how it is that you can do things differently and grow. People who practice self-compassion often experience more satisfying and productive professional and personal relationships. So although mindfulness is a part of self-compassion and one of the foundations, it's not a requirement for the class. The class is not designed to make anyone into a long-time meditator. If you already have experience with mindfulness, that's great, but if you don't, it's not a prerequisite for the class. The goal, again, of the class is to help people to notice when they're suffering and then to respond to that suffering with compassion. So because this is so different from the way most of us are, the work is very hard and can be very deep. While the course is not designed to be therapy, we'll be looking at aspects of ourselves that actually can be quite painful. Things such as the common human experiences of shame or of self-criticism. Looking at these aspects of ourselves with courage, with honesty, and with compassion helps us to transform them. They no longer are problems to be solved, but actually an integral part of being a human being. And when we do this work in company of others, as we do in the class, then we feel less isolated. It's okay to be the way we are. Everyone in the class is the same. So before I end, I'd like to just leave you with a couple of bits more information about the class so that you can make the best decision for you. So the first one is that the class is well suited for people who are comfortable with a lot of interaction. There's quite a bit of work in dyads, triads, and also in large group. And so if you're a person that really likes that kind of interaction, then the class will feel quite comfortable to you. If you're a person who's perhaps more introverted, less comfortable with that, you can still, of course, benefit from the class greatly. And there is no requirement that you participate in anything that you choose not to participate in. But it's good to know that before embarking on this journey. The second one is that because of the content, and the exercises in the class, which are looking at some of these deep-seated patterns. Sometimes the work can continue between class sessions. So please make sure that you have adequate time, you have adequate support in order to be able to get the most out of this process. For me, this class was a game changer. It helped me to relate to my experience, both pleasant and unpleasant, in a way that was kind and compassionate, in a way that made me feel less isolated and alone. I hope that will be your experience too if you choose to participate. Thank you.